I don't know.
And
It kind of felt in line with like Ultra Kill style to me. You know what I mean?
I
Hmm.
don't, because I don't know what ultra kill is.
I don't either, but I said I agreed.
You
Okay.
fucking liar.
Hey, Foster.
Hey, Wyatt.
Hey, Hunter.
Hey,
Hey,
Wyatt.
hey, Foster.
Hey, what's up, Wyatt?
Hey, how's it going, man? Hey, Hunter, how you doing?
Good. How you doing, Foster?
I'm doing okay. Hey, Wyatt.
Hey, 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 Kaylee.
Welcome to Game Serial. Well, once a week, we let our dogs out and dip our toes into the bottom of the steam bowl and see what kind of games we can fish out. Is it soggy or crunchy? Sweet or salty? Did they forget the milk? Well, we're going to find out. And all at the cost of a box of cereal.
That's right.
Cereal's expensive.
It is.
Yeah,
It's
serious.
coming up.
Groceries are going up.
It's coming up.
Yeah. Wheat. Prices of wheat nowadays are off the charts.
Grains. The grain economy is in the ditch.
Yeah, we got Russia to thank for that. Am I
Yeah.
right, boys?
Yeah.
It definitely.
Well, this week we got 2 games and we
Three
have three.
hosts.
We have 3 hosts. It's a double feature creature feature here on Game Serial.
That was a good one if you know what games we're playing. If not, that made no sense.
Hunter's the creature in this.
I am the creature.
Our games for this week. Hunter chose them last week. Would you like to introduce the names and I can read out the Steam description?
Okay, well, we have Zortch.
Yes, Zortch. According to their Steam, what the description isn't great. It's meet Zortch Maximum, short order cook, amateur engineer, and professional slacker. Bored and tired of her day job, she decides to go on a holiday, but alas, she picks a cheap option. Turns out it's a scheme by aliens who capture humans to eat their brains. Also, this game is a sci-fi horror comedy FPS. It is developed by Mutant Leg. The tags are FPS action shooter and female protagonist.
What's the other game though?
Yeah, I
Zortch
forget.
is cool.
I'm forgetting
What's
what
the
this other
second
game
one?
was.
The other game, Chop Goblins.
The Chop Goblins are loose, chopping their way through time itself in their ravenous quest for cheese, and the chop will not stop. Developed and published by David, I'm gonna butcher this name, Szymanski, I think. It's a boomer shooter FPS, old school and funny, according to the tags on Steam.
Yeah, I think we should start with Zortch.
Okay, Zortch.
Huh.
I mean, let's go in. I guess we can start with the mechanics themselves. I think is the best way to start this. Foster, why don't you break down the mechanics of Zortch?
You know what? Maybe don't ask the guy that only has 20 minutes in this game.
Okay.
Because the mechanics on my end, no, I don't want to give my thoughts yet. Go ahead, Hunter. You
Hunter,
played more.
why don't we
Well,
break down the mechanics of
Yeah,
Zortch?
we can break that down. I have significantly more hours in the game, and I felt like I became pretty familiar with the controls. You had WASD movement. You had a 1 through 9 kind of classic weapon selection system.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of weapons. It was very interesting. The graphics and the movement felt a lot like you were playing like a Source game of some kind.
It definitely did. Yeah, it's very
I've never-
very Half-Life Gmod. Didn't you say you were playing Half-Life, Foster? Or you tried?
I tried, but I'll tell you what, Half-Life plays a hell of a lot better than this game. Well, I would have much rather sat down and played
There-
Half-Life for 20
Yeah,
minutes.
there was definitely some jank.
A little bit of
present in the
jank.
game.
Yeah, I don't know. So like, move wise, you get like 9 guns I think in the game. And they all have secondary fires, and you can kick is like your biggest
Correct.
moves.
You can slide kick as well.
You can slide kick, yes. You can like run, you can crouch, you can slide kick, and you pick up occasional power ups to like turn you invisible or give you super strength or whatnot. Personally, I actually, contrary to Foster's opinion, liked Zortch.
I also enjoyed my time with Zortch.
I had a real fun time. It took me, I'd say, I picked it up, I played it for like 20 minutes, I put it down, and then a couple days later, I picked it up and I played it for like 2.5 hours. And that second time playing was a lot more enjoyable. Once I realized, I don't know if you ever did this, Hunter, did you ever jump kick?
Yes.
To just fly around the map?
Yeah.
Yeah, it got really fun once you realized you could just like whip around by just jump kicking around everywhere, because it would give you a little boost of speed and air. And I would just run around with the shotgun, just jump kicking and blasting fools.
Yeah, jump kicking, experimenting with a lot of the weapons. You know, I at first, you know, in the first couple like minutes of the game, you're given the wrench, and it just feels like the worst thing to use.
Yeah, I liked throwing it, I guess.
Well, and that's what I was gonna say. As time went on, I started to appreciate the ability of the wrench to be thrown at people and its effectiveness at knocking people prone. How far did you level-wise make it into the game?
I beat the whole first like world, so I beat up to the first boss. So I did like E1, 2, 3, and 4, and then the boss.
Okay. I made it all the way to the 5th act, I think.
Jesus, yeah, because I was like, I did look for secrets a lot, I guess, which probably upped my time. I also, what difficulty did you play on?
I was playing on the second hardest difficulty,
so the one
which I think was too hard for me.
Was it the one that didn't respawn enemies, but besides that it was the hardest, or was it the one just okay? That's
correct.
Also the one that I was playing on. Yeah. It did get a bit brutal when you'd walk in a room and there'd be like 30 enemies and they would immediately fire.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there was a definite learning curve. I found the grenade launcher to be
cracked. Yeah.
Yeah, the craziest weapon. Followed by, like, once you get the shotgun, you can basically play the whole game with the shotgun.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
90% of it was the shotgun. I really liked the SMG.
SMG I liked, but I hated that if you press W or S when you were, like, your movement keys while you were scoped in, it would change the zoom on the scope.
Oh really? I don't think I did it enough to notice that. That's annoying. I never used the pistol, like, ever.
The pistol had a shield as a secondary fire. I used that quite a bit.
That's fair. I got an achievement for putting a trip mine on the shield, and it would rotate in a circle.
Oh.
And it said it was like a ballistic shield or something, which is pretty cool.
Foster, what was your experience with the game? You said you didn't have a good time, but like, what kind of gave to that? What part of the game didn't jam with you?
Yeah, so I played Chop Goblin first, and we'll talk about that later. But, I mean, I'll just say I enjoyed that a lot more. And then so I came over to Zortch expecting a similar experience. I loaded up on the Steam Deck, and it's not verified, right? So I knew it was going to be hit or miss. And it had, like, for whatever reason, it has controller support. So it should work on the Steam Deck. At least, like, the buttons and inputs should work. But they didn't, and even when I like changed the mapping of everything, it still would not work. I don't know why it wasn't recognizing the Steam Deck as a controller itself. Anyway, so then I load up to my laptop and I plugged in a controller, and just everything like that jank you guys were talking about, that I get the vibe like you guys felt was maybe like kind of charming at a certain point. Like once you got kind of used to it, it was like fun to mess around with. And I kind of wish I got to that point, but it was just, it felt so bad to like hold in my hands. And 20 minutes of my gameplay was like 5 minutes of the 20 minutes I played was remapping all the controls because they were just set up in the worst possible way ever. Like they were so bad, it was ridiculous. Like
maybe
I don't know why they ever did that. Maybe
it's a case of playing a game that was like designed for keyboard and mouse with
It
like, because
must
if
have
it's
been.
like the most of the fun I had again was just bouncing around, shooting people, like sprinting into a room because there'd be way too many enemies, and I'd come into a room and there'd be like 10 more enemies, and I'd be like freaking out and just trying to jump around and escape or blow up this big group. And like, yeah, I could see it being a lot harder to aim and do that in a way that feels good on a controller,
Yeah.
especially with no auto aim, because it's a fucking like they didn't have auto aim in this game for controllers or anything.
There's some weird thing where like I don't know how they like program aiming in like most like FPS games, but the aiming in this felt like I was moving a mouse around on screen with the stick. Does that make sense? Like it felt real gross.
Yeah.
move.
I don't
And-
know. It kind of felt in line with like an Ultra Kill style to me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't, because I don't know what Ultra Kill is.
I don't either, but I said I agreed.
Okay.
You fucking liar. This is the third time you've lied to the audience. I'm counting.
That you know of.
We gotta get you guys reviewing a game that costs 2 boxes of cereal at some point. That style of like FPS, where I don't know. You said you felt like it was kind of on a stick. I just felt like there was some similarity there.
The only game I can compare this to is Chop Goblins or like Doom, and like Doom 1 and 2 are two of my favorite games of all time. And like I think that there's like that can either make me really love a boomer shooter, or if a boomer shooter feels bad and all I can do is compare it to that experience, it becomes really hard for me to like get into it. And also I just had a super busy week. Like I'm packing for a trip, like a big ass like week-long road trip, and I had some family birthdays and stuff, so like I just didn't have the time to play a lot of games, and then I didn't want to devote any more time to this one. So.
Zortch, it definitely felt like a game that needed a bit of a massage before it was ready to do anything.
Yeah,
you know?
maybe a bit. I genuinely though, like the more I played it, the more I liked it. I enjoyed how the enemy variety in this game was just batshit insane for no reason. Like,
Speaking of batshit insane, did you fight the bats?
I did in like one cave, and I killed them pretty quick. Were they hard? Was there like a level later on where there's just
Oh
like a
my
ton of
gosh.
them?
There's a ton of them, and they have this like sonic beam that they shoot at you,
Oh,
and it's
no.
just the worst screen effect I've ever experienced.
I really hated the mosquitoes that would spawn from the hive.
Oh, those were annoying too.
But I realized because the pistol has auto aim,
Tracking.
yeah, tracking.
Yeah.
So I used that against them. That was like the only time I used the pistol, really. But I liked how it just none of the enemies made sense. Like you'd go in, you'd fight some like ladies with huge boobs and like grenade launchers, and then you turn the corner and there'd be a velociraptor in the room.
Yep.
And then like a walking hand. You're like, what the hell is going on here, man? Or some big old frog would jump around, and there was a toad of justice, Foster. You never got to it, but
Oh yeah.
oh yeah.
It's tragic. Was there, Hunter, you played more of the story, was there ever any explanation for what was going on, or was it just kind of like a roller coaster ride through the art, like the creator's imagination?
It was a bit of a roller coaster ride. I didn't follow the plot too closely, personally. There was a point where we spawned what I thought were the alien brain suckers, but they were called creepers, I think, in the game. They were like these creatures that multiplied when you shot them. And the closest thing I had to a story was eradicating them after they broke containment, because we were abducted by a ship, maybe?
Yeah, the story is entirely told in little question marks that you run into.
Yeah, but half of them are jokes.
Yeah.
Or attempts at them.
Or
I also
like
wanted them to be hints
hints.
so bad.
Well, some of them were hints, to be fair. And I don't know if you remember.
Weren't. It was very confusing.
I don't know if you remember, Hunter. It's like the last part of the first like set of levels before the boss. There's like mines that come up from the floor and run at you. There's like a little hint that's like, oh, these will help, and there's just like some like soccer balls in a little crate, and like if you
Yeah, I
if you
remember
throw
that.
the soccer balls onto the grass or onto the sand, the mines will chase the soccer balls instead of you. But that's
Are you
like
saying mines or mines?
mines like
Mines.
blowing up
Explosives,
okay,
yeah.
Disappointing.
I will say, I felt like the level design at times, and might just be a problem that I have with boomer shooters in general. I get lost really easily.
It almost.
And I felt like
No, you're spot on.
It almost felt like Metroidvania, like where it's like.
yeah. Well, you like had to get the keys and you had to go back to this door. But
Yeah.
then, I swear to God, the doors moved, or like new enemies would spawn, and so you'd think you're going to a new area, and then you'd see the corpses of old enemies on the ground already.
Now I'll say, that got me until I started jump kicking and I could just get on top of everything, and that like fixed the the level design for me, because I'd be like, I don't know where the fuck I am, and I'd just jump on a crate and then jump up somewhere, and then I'd find a vent that the creator put there because they actually meant for you to get up there at some point, and I'd go in there and there'd be like a chocolate bar as a secret or whatever, and then you go through another gate, and it's like that's what I really liked, like after I started exploring a bit more and stopped getting insta killed.
I think
You got all the weapons in the game, yeah?
I think so. The last weapon I got was the trip mine, and then the SMG.
Yeah, that's all of them,
Okay, yeah.
I think. Well,
And the flamethrower. I got the flamethrower. That was my last one.
did you get the electric gun?
No, I did not get the electric gun. Was it like
So later in the game.
was it like the shit from Helldivers where it's like a
shock rifle.
yeah.
No, it's like an alien mass with like Tesla coils sticking out of it, and it shoots electricity. In like a beam, and it's super strong. It's like your BFG basically.
Okay.
From Doom. Like you find them and you only get ammo every once in a while, but they're really good at taking down like the bigger enemies. The best experience was jumping through maps and using that to just fry every small enemy you see, because it's just like a straight laser beam that kills people in 2 seconds. So you could just like jump through the map holding down left click, and you'd watch like whole armies of people die.
That's what I liked with the grenade launcher, especially if you got like the invisible pickup and you like go into a room and like there'd be 20 enemies that were supposed to spawn and run out and hit you, but they just stand there because they don't know you're there, and you could just blow them all up in like 2 shots. I hot take. I liked Zortch. I'm a Zortch guy, Zortch fan.
I agree. I liked Zortch too.
I was gonna say it seems like I'm the one with the hot take.
Yeah, you got the hot take that you fucking hate it.
Yeah.
I'll say
kinda.
in terms of their sci-fi horror comedy FPS, it is an FPS.
Sci-fi.
It is
sci-fi.
sci-fi. And I guess some of the enemies look a little silly, but
They
that's
attempted
about it.
jokes.
Yeah.
They did their best. Oh man, I don't want to just sit here and shit on the game. I just feel bad about it because I didn't put in enough time really to even like have a good opinion. I do want to go back to Hunter when you were talking about the like level design. I felt that was an immediate turnoff for me because I got so lost so fast.
I think that first
The
level
world was boring enough that I didn't want to explore it. Like I don't mind being lost if it's interesting, but it was not at all. And so I was just in like dark corridors where I couldn't even see what was going on.
You did have a flashlight. I don't know if you used it. But there was a flashlight.
I did have a flashlight.
Do you know you had night vision goggles too?
You also have night vision goggles. Yeah, I didn't know that until I looked at the help screen.
Yeah, me too. Same thing.
But I think that first level was a bad first level to choose because it's all gray corridors until you get into this huge room that's just super confusing and full of like 1,000 enemies, and they don't give you any direction on where to go. Like the second map and the third map too are a lot more linear, where it's like you go this way, there's like an arrow telling you where to go, and then there's like a little area here, but they all like if you go off in a side path it leads back to the main area so you don't get lost. But that first one was like there's like elevators that go to nothing, and like it's just a huge square basically, and they don't tell you what you're trying to do. So I could see why on that first map you're like this level design is ass.
See, I just felt like that never got better for me. The entire time I played this game, I felt like a kid lost in a grocery store looking for his mom, and I just kept running into people to shoot.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Okay. Well then.
Oh wait, can I say one more thing about Zortch?
No, you can't actually.
No. Yeah, we're moving on.
We're done.
Oh.
Please. I felt like. I guess this is a direct comparison to Chop Goblin, so maybe I'll save this for the Chop. Are we allowed to compare Chop Goblin to Zortch?
Yeah, you can compare Chop Goblin to like Elden Ring if you want to. We don't got no rules.
Well, I'm just saying the The ability to jump is such a game changer in games.
That's true. That's true.
I played Chop
Really?
Goblins spamming the spacebar, expecting to go up and never being able
That's
to.
so
Yeah.
funny. But you can't jump in the original Doom games. And so I was like, ah, yes, classic,
Speaking
as
of,
it should be.
no, I guess we
Foster, I feel like Foster should lead the conversation
Hey,
about Chop.
Yeah,
Goblin
we
here.
we.
Whoa, what?
Yeah.
I should have left it Zortch. Why am I leaving a Chop Goblin?
No, lead.
Oh,
Like
I thought you
lead.
said leave. I was like, what
No.
the hell?
No. I want you in charge of it.
Oh,
Foster,
okay.
just get the fuck
You know?
out of here. We're gonna talk about some boomer shooters.
God damn it. Okay, I'll happily lead the charge on Chop Goblin. It's exactly the same genre, but there's goblins. And I enjoyed this from like the first 2 minutes of this game. I was like, this is gonna be fun. Like immediately, the soundtrack, I wouldn't say it was kicking, but I was enjoying it. I was vibing to it a little bit. It was kind of chunky, and I found it right off the rip, because you get a little level description before you dive into the level, and like right off the bat, I was like, oh, this is funny. Like the concept of these goblins who popped out of this box that just want to chop everything is just silly.
Bro, they don't just want to chop everything. They want cheese.
They want cheese. Where's the cheese?
What-
Nice to
Where's the
meet you.
cheese?
What fucked me up is when the Chop Goblins chopped down a damn building.
Yo.
True.
That fucked you up? Fucked me up was when they traveled through time. And
Honestly,
What
back in
fucked me
Raided
up is
Greece.
when, like, in our last 3 games, 2 of them have had Dracula for some reason.
True.
yeah, I think
Incredible.
from top to bottom, Chop Goblins had charm. It had honestly like really good controls, and it felt good to
Yeah.
play. From the second I stabbed my first goblin, I was locked in.
Would you say you
felt so
potentially
good.
chopped your first goblin?
Oh no, it was definitely a
Okay,
stab,
it was
bro.
a
Did you
stab,
see that?
okay.
Did you see that dagger?
It would have been great to unlock like a butcher knife that would be able to actually
You
chop the goblin.
you can unlock an upgraded knife. I don't know if you
Yeah, the electric one.
the holy knife, yeah.
Yeah.
We should explain the game before we get too deep into like the levels, but like it's very similar controls to exactly what you'd expect. You look around, you shoot, or you stab. You can't jump like Hunter said earlier.
And there's
And
only 4 guns in this one.
are there? There's
Right. There's 4 in the base levels, I guess.
there's the pistol, the machine
There's
gun,
Shotgun,
the shotgun,
and the staff of the Corinthians.
and the wand. Yeah, and then the knife,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
I think the best, like, it's very basic. It's very similar to Zortch, right? Like, but where Zortch, I guess, had the kick jump for you guys, this game had the parry mechanic with the knife. You guys use that a lot?
I did it
I thought
once.
that was so fun.
I did it once and I got the achievement for it and I never did it again. I didn't know it was a
Yeah.
thing until I did it on like accident.
Oh.
Mhm.
Hunter, what about you? What was your
Yeah, I
experience?
did it one time, found the timing too difficult, and went back to stabbing and shooting goblins.
Mhm.
I love just
Basic.
picking heads with like the pistol.
But that pistol was cracked.
Yeah, especially if,
I
Felt
think.
good to shoot.
if you got the speed loader on it. I don't know if you guys got the speed reloader.
Oh yeah, the speed reload is
Yeah,
crazy.
that thing goes crazy.
I love the secrets in the game. I felt like were fun to find and
Yeah.
were like meaningful in some way for the most part.
One of them had a toilet
Um,
that you could flush.
yeah, there was a secret
a
toilet
toilet.
you could flush. I remember that.
Yeah,
That was in the
they-
museum. You had to put in a code.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like they were rewarding. Like they were just hard enough to find, where, like they took a little bit of like searching around.
Some of those hidden buttons, I was like, I walked by it 12 times before I finally saw it.
Yeah, the one
Oh,
in the
yeah.
museum to get the code, the one on the back side of one of the door frames
Yeah.
really got me. It took me like 20 minutes of searching to find it. I really enjoy. I think one of my most memorable moments was playing Chop Goblins late at night. In I think it's the second level after you leave the museum. You're in the streets. You see the building get chopped down. You travel through the area a little bit more, and then a car comes driving through a wall with a bunch of
Forgot.
goblins riding out the windows.
Yeah.
And it was like that moment where I was like, I'm in. This game sold me. Like I'm 100% in for what they have to offer.
It was that
So
moment where I'm just
funny.
like panicked shooting it with a shotgun. Like,
Yeah.
just I was like, please don't kill, because there's no saving in this game. If you die, you have to restart the entire level. I was like, please God.
Yeah.
Well, what? Again, not to ask this every single game we ever play, but what difficulty were you guys playing on?
So I played the first one on the One Below Goblin, my first run, and then I went back through. I did a second run with the anniversary weapons on Goblin mode.
Okay, I did my first run on Goblin mode, and I haven't done an anniversary one, but I probably will because I forgot to hit record for my first run. So
Oh. Yeah, I did just the base difficulty, like whatever it is below Goblin, for both my runs through the game.
to be fair, Goblin literally says, "Do this if you've played the game before," and I went, "Fuck you,"
Yeah.
and I went and played it anyway.
I will say the anniversary guns are a crazy fun experience because the first one you get is like a rifle instead of the pistol, and when you stab, you have two arms holding the rifle and a third arm comes out to stab the dagger. And it made me giggle to myself for a solid
That's
10
pretty
minutes the
good.
first time it
That's
happened.
That's pretty good.
Wait, so did you run through the base levels or did you run through the remixed levels?
I ran through the base levels, but on Goblin mode with the special weapons.
So did you guys play the remixes? or
I just before we started recording here, I was like, I'm gonna run through Chop Goblins in like 20 minutes with my new game plus weapons, and I got all the way to Dracula's fortress, and it bugged, and the door didn't open when the elevator dropped down or dropped up to let me get into Dracula. So I had to restart, and I was like, well, fuck it, I'll just do the remix level then. So I did like part of that one as the remix level, but that was it. I haven't tried the other ones, but it seems like they just add late game enemies and like some weird pink goblin that sprints at you.
They had some
What- yeah.
enemies, and you get different weapons. I think you get maybe the anniversary weapons.
Probably.
In there, and then also they like on the grease level, you had to find the hidden like buttons and stuff to progress through
Okay.
the game. Like you got like locked. Like I couldn't go anywhere until I found the little buttons. to get through,
Interesting.
Which I thought was fun. I was like, it's makes the experience a little bit different, right, from the base thing. And you actually have to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I felt like this game, it nailed level design, it nailed pacing. It wasn't too long, and it knew exactly like how long it needed to be. You know, I didn't feel like it dragged on the gameplay.
Especially with like having to respawn after every death. I think if they had tuned that poorly, like the level size, that could have been really painful.
Yeah. Did you die a lot, Hunter?
No, I didn't die too much.
The one time I remember, I'm sure I died like in like the early levels, but the one time I remember dying and it being like annoying was I died on Dracula because I tried to knife him with the holy water knife because I thought it might like insta kill him or something. So I had to redo the entire level after I beat him. But what is great about this is it's once you know where everything is, you can run through a level in like 5 minutes. Genuinely.
Oh, yeah.
Even with all the secrets, especially when you know what the secrets are, like I got back to Dracula in like 4 or 5 minutes and it was like nothing.
Speaking of bosses and enemies, how'd you guys feel about the general creature variety?
I thought it was pretty good.
It was definitely less than
They definitely
Zortch.
could have added more. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like that they actually were different classes,
Yeah.
and they each had a different like function, like a game purpose. Like you had the tank, you had the range people, you had the like,
mage.
basic enemies. And like
That's-
because the game's so short, I felt like I didn't need more from it.
Yeah.
The goblin that would just say words at you was like the only one that kind of annoyed me because you couldn't. It was like a instant hit if they got it off basically.
Yeah, you had to like flinch them by hitting them somehow.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure like at the initial part of how to handle them, but yeah, I like the rest
There were
of
the
them.
lightsaber goblins.
Oh, there were at the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did like the Dracula fight purely for the song where he's like, I am Dracula.
Oh, that was a highlight too,
It
for
was
sure.
so good. Yeah, it was easily. That was probably my favorite moment of the game. It was so out of like left field.
He's like,
I just did not
I'm,
see that coming.
I'm gonna get you. I'm like, oh my god. I loved the wand too. It had the same how we were talking about in
Oh yeah.
Zortch of just like running through blowing people up. That was the wand, you know. Did you guys?
Yeah, the sections where they gave you ammo for the wand and like huge groups of enemies. Oh, and the game would slow down too if you exploded stuff or killed enough enemies. That felt great as well.
That was awesome. Yeah, anytime you get like a double or triple kill, you get that like bullet time. Sick.
Did you guys get the wand early?
No, I couldn't find it.
It's like
No, I think I got it on the actual level it gives it to you.
so it gives it to you on Grease regardless, but you can get it at the very beginning. There's like a rock you can climb up and it'll like teleport you to a room or it opens a door to a room or something and the wand's just chilling in there. So I had the wand for like the entirety of the Grease level, which was nice for those big fuckers.
Those guys are tanky.
Yeah.
What else to say? I mean, we kind of talked about the tone, but I felt like that was probably my favorite part of the game. Like any game can put like decent controls in and like pretty like okay level design, but it being actually funny and like consistently funny and held that tone throughout the whole game.
I mean,
was
a completely
impressive to me. It could have slipped up real bad.
Completely nonsensical story, but
Oh, yeah.
But followable. Like I could tell you beat by beat what happens in the game, even though it's basic as fuck.
I liked when you go down to the subway and a train full of goblins drives by you, and I think I was thinking after the car fight, I was like, "Fuck, I'm gonna have to shoot the hell out of this."
I thought so too.
This little train, and then it was just nothing. They just like left entirely. I was like, "Oh, okay." And then they send you through time in a portal or whatever. Yeah. If you guys could hang out with any of the goblins from Chop Goblin, which one would it be?
Is Dracula an option?
Yes, but we'd all choose him, so we'll go someone else that isn't Dracula.
I'm probably taking Grandma Goblin, the screamer one.
Yeah.
Go get her like a nice meal, maybe calm her down a little bit.
Okay.
Maybe she'll write me into her will.
Yeah. Foster, what do you think?
I think I'd hang with the Robo Goblins, the cyborg goblins at the end.
They were pretty cool.
They seemed pretty cool. They had sick outfits, so at least they've got the drip.
They had that Kylo Ren.
They live in Choppengrad, which I also find very funny.
Oh yeah.
Be cool to go visit, you know. Exchange student maybe.
I heard the summers are great there.
Stunning.
Let's go summer in Choppengrad. Make sure to bring the Pomeranians.
I'm trying to think. Oh, not to. Well, I guess first I'll say my pick. I think I'd probably just do. Maybe I'd do the little dogs that run at you.
I did not like those guys.
Oh, I forgot about those.
Yeah, I kind of hated them, but if they were homies, I think they'd be fine. You know.
You take them to get a drink. You're gonna take a dog to get a drink, bro?
What? When did I say I'm taking someone to get a drink? I said to hang out.
Wasn't that the question?
It's gonna bite a stranger, and you're gonna have to put it down. It's gonna be really sad.
Fine, I'll go with the green goblins that throw knives.
There you go.
Nice.
The classic. I was gonna say, the future map looked straight out of Half-Life until you get up to like the spaceship. When you're just in like the rundown area, I was like, is this just like a stolen asset? When I got into it.
I know I talked a big game about playing Half-Life earlier, but I've only played like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, but
He's played less Half-Life than Zortch.
True.
oh no. What a horrible crime I've committed.
Really is. Yeah, no, I mean, it's a great game. What would you guys rate it if, for whatever reason, you had to give it a number on a scale of 1 to 10?
Can I rate Zortch first?
Yes.
I feel a lot. Feel a certain type of way about that one. I want to end on a good note.
You can rate Zortch and Chop Goblins.
Yeah, I think we both we all do each of our both of our reviews.
Yeah.
Okay, I give Zortch 3 kick jumps out of 10, but there's a little asterisk on that one. I feel as if I didn't give it a fair chance, to be honest. So on the Steam Deck, definitely a 2 out of 10, and then I plugged in a controller to my laptop, 3 out of 10. But I just didn't find it funny. like controls were clunky and felt awkward, and the level design was drab and confusing, which are not two things you want your levels to be ever. So yeah, like 2.5, I guess we'll even that out of 10.
Okay. So 2.5 for Zortch.
2.5 Zortches out of Zortch. And then we will give Chop Goblin 7 cheeses out of 10 cheeses. I feel Chop Goblin was a good game, you know? It wasn't incredible. It didn't like blow me away, but I had a lot of fun playing it for like the couple hours that I did. And I think they nailed the tone, and they had good level design, and they made me giggle a couple times, you know? I was chuckling to myself laying in bed.
Kicking your feet up.
I was squirming and warming, making me feel all
my
type
gosh.
of ways. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But my review's not that important. You know whose is? Our creature of the week.
Our creature of the week.
I'm gonna give Zortch probably 6 shotgun barrels out of 10. I enjoyed Zortch. I got confused a lot. I felt like at times I didn't know what I was doing or where I was going or why I was doing it. There's definitely not a lot of stakes in Zortch that I could find.
That's just life,
But
man.
that's true. But I felt like the gameplay made up for it at times, and I wouldn't refund the game. Not that I could, because I've spent too much time
Played
in it.
over 2 hours.
Lost in levels. Yeah.
Foster might be able to.
True. So yeah, and then Chop Goblins, I'm gonna give like a solid 7.5 flying butcher knives out of 10. I thought it hit every note. It was really fun. I thought the gameplay especially was just like so enjoyable. At no point during the game did I pause and be like, I should be doing something else right now, or like I have something else to attend to. Like when I was playing it till I was done playing games, and that's a good place for a game to be, in my opinion.
Hell yeah.
Wyatt, that just leaves you.
I'm gonna be a crazy thing to do here. I'm gonna give Zortch 7 severed hands out of 10.
That's wild.
Because I very much enjoyed the time I played. Maybe, I don't know if I played more, if I would like it more or less, but I played a solid 3 hours, and those 3 hours I enjoyed 7 out of 10. And Chop Goblins, 7.5 big coins out of 10. It's just a little bit more enjoyable than Zortch. I like the gunplay a bit more. It feels more snappy, and I feel more satisfaction when I shoot a goblin in the head than when I would shoot like a velociraptor in the head, or like a flaming skull that's flying through the air. And that's the most of it. And the level design's a bit better. But I would give it, I didn't give it a funny thing. I need to give it also.
Yeah, what were the coins for?
I'd like to point out,
just the
I
high
think
score.
it's all for the high score. I killed you guys on high score. Because I finished after you guys, and I had like 11,000 or something. You guys were at like 7K or like 5K. I was like, man,
Damn.
get good.
Can I
I
also
was hoping
talk,
you wouldn't see mine.
I hate to put this at the end of your edit, but I gotta bring this up about Zortch, bro. The fact that when you would shoot people with the shotgun, they'd fall onto their backs but not die, and then would go through the animation of standing up again, bro. Oh,
yeah, I'd go up to him and I'd
God.
just shoot the shit out of him and Zortch again. It was so, I thought, like, because I started the game on the hardest one where they did respawn, and I thought that was them respawning.
No, they're just standing back up, bro.
Yeah, they just
So
get back
annoying.
up, man.
I can't believe you gave that only half a point less than fucking Chop Goblin. Chop Goblins is like honestly so far above Zortch.
It's the
so many
movement.
ways.
It's the movement in Zortch that does
it's
it
true.
for me.
Zortch really felt good to
It
play.
was really
like,
fun to
honestly.
move around. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't experience that at all, so I guess I can't speak
I think
to
if the gunplay and the enemies felt better, Zortch could easily be like an 8.
It's like if Zortch had a portal, it would be. You remember that one portal FPS Foster that we played? It was like Splitgate or something.
Splitgate. I played Splitgate.
Yeah,
Are we
it'd be
hopping on
like that
Splitgate
kind of
too?
vibe. Yeah, so let's hop on some Splitgate after this.
There you get some more background footage.
Yeah.
B-roll time.
Oh.
Your B-roll should be recording our Foundry sessions.
I also
No
also
audio,
don't-
just the
some tokens moving
screen
around.
recording of our tokens. Yeah.
I do also. I know we were done with the review, but Zortch, Hunter, how many hours did you play?
I have 4.9 hours, almost 5.
And how far through the game were you?
Let me pull up level select. I'll check right now.
I'm just curious. I want to kind of determine the total hours that it would take to beat Zortch.
Well,
Oh
it's
god, it's
interesting
so loud.
because Hunter has beaten like 5 bosses or some shit in his what did you say 4.5 hours?
And you beat
Yeah,
one
I
in
have-
3 hours.
I beat
I have
one in
one
3.
level left. I have 1 level left.
Yeah, so I was just I think going super slow through everything apparently.
Because yeah, why I was asking Hunter, like I was asking you because Wyatt said it took him 3 hours to get through like one world, and I was like, oh my god, is this a 13-hour game?
To be fair,
crazy.
there is a bit of that. There's probably like an hour of that where I like kept it running and I went and like did something else, like outside of playing it, but I just let it running because I didn't want to quit. Like Chop Goblins, I have 24 hours in, but I left it on overnight. When really I probably have like 3 hours in it. Also,
I looked today. I have 114 hours in Grocery Store Simulator now, so
dude, it's your favorite game of all time, possibly.
I love it. I've actually been multiplayering with that old guy.
No joke. I saw some random guy on my friends list. I probably friended him like playing Rocket League like 4 years ago. Loaded up Grocery Store Simulator today.
I wonder if he heard our watch.
He must have watched our game serial and went, "That game looks fucking fun." These guys are
Well,
so
boys,
funny.
Thank you so much for letting me be the creature.
Oh, we're so happy to have you.
It's an honor. Anytime.
Do I get pluggables?
Yeah, go plug
I
whatever
guess.
you want.
You're plugging
Yeah,
to
I'll-
yourself and Wyatt's girlfriend.
That's fine. I'm gonna plug Puppeteers for Fears, the only touring puppet troupe that performs nationally, doing full-length musicals in bars. Look us up on Google, on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram.
Link in the description.
Sure. Click that. And hit the subscribe and the bell button so you don't miss any other future game serials. Who knows when they'll come back to my flavor of the week.
True. Who knows when our cereal might get a little spoiled, a little rotten.
Whoa. I'm rotten cereal.
And when
We
our
need
games
Hunter
are
to come in here and freshen it up.
When
Wait,
our
hold
games
on.
are
You guys both
Zortch and
gave them
Chop
above
Goblins.
5. You gave them above a 5. You're gonna tell me?
yeah, but like
Yeah,
they're
it's-
very like nuclear games, you know. I feel like they're like irradiated. You know what I mean?
Zortch definitely felt a bit fried. I won't lie.
Yeah.
Chop Goblins though, that didn't feel fried at all.
Chop
dude. I think you're
Goblin was
crazy.
crisped to perfection.
Yeah, man.
It's done in the air fryer. Perfect.
The air fryer.
Hey, Foster, like what are we playing next week? I mean, this Chop Goblins and
Yeah.
Zortch really got me in a real.
They got me in a crazy mood.
I feel like a creature just featured or something. I don't
God.
know what's going on.
Woo! Are you ready for the next greatest game we've ever played? I am convinced that this one is going to review higher than maybe not Helix.
Helix.
It's definitely going to review higher than Zortch though. So
Then what?
confirmed.
You completely cut out for me.
Oh, I said it's definitely reviewing higher than Zortch. I can confirm.
For you.
Are you ready?
Rack and Slay. Roguelike. I'm sold.
I knew you would be.
It's a pool roguelike. The roguelike dungeon crawler where you're a billiard ball, push monster balls into holes or traps in randomly generated levels, stack up countless game-changing items to create broken builds, find combos to create your own synergies, and customize your playstyle. Rack and Slay. I'm so down.
It looks very interesting. Yeah, I can't wait to play this. I've been itched because I've had this picked out for over a week. Because I picked it out because I didn't know if Hunter was going to come through.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't know if our creature was gonna show up.
If our creature was going to feature.
So we had no idea if the creature was featuring. So I had this picked out for a while, and I've been fighting the urge to play it.
Hell yeah. I'm glad you
Yeah.
waited.
I know, same. And just a heads up for all the people, you will not be hearing about Rack and Slay next week because I will be living in the woods like an animal.
Indeed.
So it'll be a week delay, and in September you'll be hearing all about this bad boy. Thank you to everybody. I was thanking the creature before we rudely interrupted us.
Yeah, no more thanks to our creature.
But yeah, shout out to his puppet show. And shout out to us for making super quality content every week. And taking these very, very cheap bottom of the bowl Steam games and treating them as if they're very serious. And our reviews are very highly important. And we hope you enjoy that content.
Just you wait for the new Dragon Age to come out, and I choose.
If you can con who makes it BioWare, if you can con BioWare into giving us codes, then we can review it because it's cheap. It's free at that point, so we can make that happen. If you want to buy followers on our accounts,
I'll send him an email.
Okay.
See what's happening.
Please do. Okay, but we hope to see you next week, and the week after that, and the week after that, and the week after that. Because we love doing this. It's very, very fun. So we hope you're playing these games with us. And even more than that, we hope you're hitting that fucking subscribe button. Because we see you. We see you like 30, 50 watchers a week. Why aren't you subscribing? Please subscribe.
It's just me like 3 times for every video.
I can see the podcast downloads, and I definitely make up 75% of them. Okay. Auf Wiedersehen.
Guten Schlagen.